Thunder booms, lightning crashes, leaving boots filled with ashes. As we lay you down to rest, we read the pages of the Dead Man's Digest.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Dead Man's Digest for Halloween Horror Nights 26. I'm your host, of course, Darren, and joining me tonight, we have my girlfriend, the beautiful Nina Thompson.
Hi. Oh, that was really sweet.
No. And also joining us, not so pretty, but he knows a thing or two about Halloween Horror Nights. This is Travis Terrell. How's it going, Travis?
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
That wasn't very nice, man.
Oh, that was mean.
Yeah, you guys will know Travis. He does all the photo updates for the UUO podcast and the blogs for that as well. So, welcome. This is your first time being recorded for the podcast, right?
Yep.
All
first
right.
time.
All right, guys. Well, let's just dive right in here. We're going to start out with some ticket price news that just came out. Yeah. Everything has gone up. I think everybody expected that.
Yep.
Yeah, your standard general admission is up $3 to $101.99. That's for people that are coming in. Actually, $101.99 is for a Florida resident.
That's what I was going to ask.
And $104.99 for out of state.
It's usually like a $20 difference. There's only $3 difference
this
year?
No, it's not. You're thinking of the discount.
Yeah.
Like a Coke can discount. That's not applied to that yet.
Okay.
Then we got what here? We got Rush of Fear, which is what we did. Well, we did Rush of Fear with Express, but Rush of Fear is up $8. Now the thing that really went up big time are the Express passes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Express pass for Rush of Fear with Express, which is like what the first 12 nights of the event, went up $80 this year.
Wow.
yeah, you're looking at $219 or $299 if you're from out of state.
Well, they know we need it. You don't do Horror Nights without one.
Yeah, and I'm sure this is their way of trying to mitigate the Express lines. Yeah, when you saw those things like Freddy vs. Jason and things last year, that was a really big problem with the Express line sometimes equaling the standard queue line.
Yeah, but I felt like that was just earlier on in the event because, like you said, we did get Rush of Fear. So I think they were still trying to figure out that early on, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. But yeah, I know that every year more people get Express because they listen to our show and they know that it is important to do
they
so.
know better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they got to do something for it, and really the only thing you can do is charge more. If you limit the amount of Express passes that's available, people will be very angry. I think if it was just like sold out of Express, as opposed to, hey, it costs a little bit more, but you're pretty much guaranteed to get one if you want one, you know. And then
Gotta pay the cost to be the boss, man.
Yeah, definitely. Frequent Fear plus Express, which is I think was like 20 nights of the event.
That's what I'm confused because now we have Ultimate.
Well, that's
Fear.
new.
Yeah, that's new. But so what's the difference between
I think Frequent Fear it doesn't include
like peak nights,
Fridays or Saturdays, right?
Right.
And then I think it's almost every other night.
Yeah. So the new ticket option that Nina brought up already here is Ultimate Fear and Ultimate Fear Express. That is, it's $200 just for the Ultimate Fear. That's basically a season pass for Horror Nights. Every single night of the event you can go. And I guess...
How many nights is it this year?
32?
Yeah.
I don't know. I should probably have the website up or something, but I don't. But yeah, the Ultimate Fear with Express, that's the big one. That's the doozy. It's $600.
That's the one you would have if you lived in Orlando, right?
Yeah, definitely. I can complain about it all I want. That's, $200 more than my Disney annual pass. But
yeah,
I would pay it.
I don't know, man. I think with the Ultimate Fear, I don't think I would do Express. I think I would do, since it's every night of the event, $400 difference doesn't seem feasible to me. If you're going that much, that consistently, like you could go every night and hit 2, 3, 4 houses, get in there, stay and scream, and hit 2, 3, 4 houses a night and be, that would suffice me at least. I mean,
yeah.
If you're going 30, if you could possibly go every night, 32 nights, I think you would get your fill not even having express, you know?
Yeah, I think so. Well, that does make sense. And then if you did want to just get express a night or two, or go on an RIP tour with a group or something like that, then
Right.
you could use all that extra money and still have a bunch left over.
Yeah, $600 is a lot.
No.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that do it, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of Finnegans.
Right?
But yeah, Frequent Fear plus Express, just to mention that one too real quick, that's up $120 this year. It's just crazy to hear that much. The standard passes really didn't go up it's like $8 each. $8 this year, up $8, up $8. And then the Expresses, up $120, up $85, up $80. So
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know, I might spring for the Frequent Fear plus Express this year. I don't know. Because I did, like I said, we did Rush of Fear last year, and I mean, it's cool to see the event early on, but you kind of get left out in those mid, months in October and stuff like that. So I think I might want to check that out. But I mean, I guess that is when it's more crowded. So I don't know. I have to figure out which one I want to do.
yeah, definitely. Nina, you looked that up. How many days was that?
31.
31 days of Halloween Horror Nights this year. A full month. So yeah, then let's go ahead and move on to the announcements that they've made so far.
Drum roll.
Yeah. Well, the big one, of course, Chance. Chance is back. It's not Jack is back this year. Chance is back.
Oh, Daddy.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I was seeing the reign of Chance on Twitter, and went from Chance of Rain to Reign of Chance really
Yeah.
quickly, which I thought was pretty cool.
Not expected. I did not expect that.
Fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's not too bad being a sidekick for 2 shows. I mean, for 2 years, and then becoming an icon. That's a pretty good career trajectory, I'd say.
Yeah.
She was on there first at Halloween Horror Nights 17. That was her first appearance, and it's been the same actress doing it since the beginning, so that's kind of cool. Yeah.
I think that's why they're so good at it, because they've got a good rapport between, her and James have a good rapport, so they can, they feed off each other because they've been doing it together for so long. So.
Definitely. So yeah, so last year, I mean, the first year she was very much a sidekick. Last year we saw her get a little bit more of like an equal standing role, I'd say, with Jack.
Especially in the show, she did all the brunt work.
Yeah.
She brought in the sacrifices. She turned on the blender. I mean, she did it all.
Right.
Actually, that was one thing Jack did. He did turn on the blender.
Okay, I lied. She brought the sacrifice to the blender.
She did tell him to kick it, though. But yeah, the trailer was kind of interesting because it kind of showed her like in 2 different lights. It looks like we're gonna have your happy-go-lucky jester kind of Chance, and then an also very psychotic, like demented Chance as well. The trailer that announced her kind of had a light swinging back and forth, and it would show one side and then the other side. On one side she's got her makeup on. She got it on both, but the second one she's got a straight jacket on, which is of course leading people to Shady Brook real quick.
Isn't that kind of like crossing it over from last year as well, though? Wasn't the advertisement kind of similar, where they had like just like one light shining and it was kind of, everything else was dark, and it just kind of randomly showed their faces in the shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I think this one was more important because, and also if you look at the logo for this year's event, you see it's got the 2 drama faces, the happy and the sad drama face on top. So I think they're really pushing that dichotomy, and you're going to see that. We don't know for sure if she has a show yet. I'm hoping she does. With how successful Carnival of Carnage was last year, I can't see them not pulling back something like that again.
Yeah, that was a big question. That was a big question for me as well with the show. I hope so.
In the same stage. At first, I remember last year I kind of was nervous about how, crowd control, and if it's going to be kind of like a bottleneck right there. But it was very successful. It was nice because you didn't have to worry about, taking a seat to catch the show. If you were, if you've seen the show before, but you kind of wanted to take a peek from a distance and you're between houses, you can still, take a break, sit on a bench, and you can watch the show from across, Mel's Diner or anything. Oh,
true.
Yeah, and you could hear it from all across the park too.
Yeah, that's very true.
Pretty loud.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about that is Hollywood Boulevard is a nice lead up to that stage, like we saw, and that was kind of the artistic vision and the setup last year was. you'd walk through and you'd see each icon from the previous years, one by one by one by one, and then you continue walking forward to the stage, and then Jack.
I didn't think about
The
that.
main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of speculation this year that it'll be something similar to that. You're gonna walk through, because Chance, they've already announced for sure. Chance gets a scare zone and a house this year.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that the rumor is Chance's house is going to be the 3D house in Shrek. So exit out of Shrek towards Hollywood, go down Hollywood Boulevard and see all Chance's scare zone there, and then culminate at the stage show at the end. I think that would be really cool. I don't know if they'll do it that way.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on Chance having a 3D house, Nina?
I think it's perfect because we saw it like last year with Alice. The whole clown cards, the hearts thing, I think it would be fantastic with clown. What was the house with the clowns? Have we seen a house with clowns in 3D? Or am I confusing it?
You're confusing that with Hollow Scream at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay.
Don't shoot me.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's fantastic. It would be, I don't know, it would be nice as a 3D house.
Mm-hmm. I think that it would lend itself to that as well. Of course, the 3D house is never as I don't want to say this. It's never as good.
It's
as
never
the
a
other
top
house.
3, exactly. For as
No.
long as I've been going, 3D houses are never like in my top 3. But I think it would be good because I don't know,
Yeah.
just the
I'm
makeup
back-
and it would be scary and it'd pop out in your face.
I'm back and forth with it, man, because I don't know. I don't know if it necessarily fits. I get like all the bright colors and stuff,
Right.
but I don't know. Like, I put the 3D house pretty low on my list last year. Like, it was cool, but
Mhm.
I mean, I guess you got to have that differential between all the other houses. You know, you got to have like a kind of a goofy kind of comedy house. But I don't know, man. Those 3D houses, especially if you've been drinking in the parks for a little while, they tend to make you a little bit sick. So, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it could be cool. I go back and forth, so we'll see.
the real important thing is they have to be very careful if they are going to put Chance in the 3D house to differentiate it from Alice in 3D last year, because what was that, a girl, a woman
Yeah,
in an insane asylum going crazy.
right.
So if the story is that similar, then we're
Yeah,
gonna
you
have a
think
problem.
they're gonna? Hopefully, they don't reuse too many props if they do go with the 3D.
Yeah.
I see in the scare zone a lot of bendy people. You know, kind of like in
Yeah.
the show, a lot of acrobats, a lot of people can do a lot of tricks. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a sideshow act or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be neat. The other thing I'm concerned about that is becoming another photo op kind of scare zone, and if they put Chances in there, then that's exactly what it's going to be.
I think they're gonna nip that in the bud a little bit this year, because with some of the stuff that happened last year and stuff like that, I think they're gonna cut down on taking selfies and stuff inside the scare zone, because it kind of bottlenecks it, man. I mean,
Yeah.
It does.
The only way I see it happening is if on the stage, like the stage presenters, because like that didn't really cause a big problem, I don't think.
no.
Like when you have the director there, I know Nina got a couple of good selfies with the director behind her and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, but it's bad when you're going through the all night dying scare zone last year, and you've
Yeah.
got literally, I don't know if you remember that picture I sent you of Freddy last year. He literally had like a line of 15 or 20 people
Oh my
take
gosh.
selfies with him. That's not. I mean, that takes people out of it. I mean, I get people want to do that and you want to have your picture with Freddy or whatnot, but
yeah, and I think
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think their regulars were kind of telling them last year, from some people I've heard that were scare actors, they were telling them to make it about 50-50.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep running around scaring, but then it's kind of hard to do that when you're, especially if it's like your first year doing Horror Nights as a scare actor and you got all these people lining up. What are you going to do? Just walk away from them? Well, actually, yes, that's what you should do.
Yeah,
But-
or else you're going to form bad habits of, if that's your first year, you're going to think that that's fine to do every single year. So
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, the other things with Chance, of course, we got a big Shady Brook rumor, either Shady Brook or Hellgate Prison. We might see her in one of those inner houses.
Shady Brook.
Yeah,
Money's on
Shady Brook would be a cool one, but yeah, Hellgate Prison is also a definite possibility if they're going the Arkham route, I guess.
I don't know too much about Hellgate, but I don't know.
Yeah. Besides, like, Run, that's where Run took place last year, and they had another one in years prior. It's basically just the Halloween Horror Nights standard prison.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Is that because of the rumor that we think it's going to be a house that's going to be revived? It was an original house that they're bringing back. So we're thinking that might be the Chance house?
Yeah. Well, there's actually rumors of a few houses like that happening. So, okay, now let's move on to the next announcement I have here. We're definitely going backwards in order here, but let's talk about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, just tonight, Nina saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, for the very first time ever.
The 1974 original, correct.
Yep. And we found out that and me watching it again, just realizing it's not the best movie ever made.
But it makes for a great house.
Exactly. That's the cool thing about it, is the setting is amazing. That is going to be such a creepy house.
We're already picking out the scenes. That's going to be a scene. That's going to be in the house. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Now, of course, this isn't Leatherface's first time being in the event. He's actually been here a couple of times. He was here for Halloween Horror Nights 17 back in 2007. He had his own house called Flesh Wounds. He was one of the sub-icons under Jack, actually. And it's worth noting that was Chance's first year at the event, too, so they're kind of buds.
Well, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're back.
Definitely. He was also featured in the very popular, very famous All Night Die-In house from Halloween Horror Nights 13, with a bunch of other iconic horror slashers, you could say, at the time. But this is really cool because I know this is going to be a passion project for Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I thought this one was one of the ones he said it was in the soundstage, but that he didn't announce that. This very well may be a tent house. And if it is,
I don't know.
And if it is, I see it being like.
You know what he did? He did say it was a tent house, because that's everybody was wondering how they were going to do the chainsaws, if they were going to be cheesy or not, because they did it in a soundstage, right?
Yeah, because if they're not in a soundstage,
or not in a soundstage, in a tent, because they can't run chainsaws in a tent.
Yeah. Actually, the only place that they can run a chainsaw was the disaster queue previously.
Yeah, because it's open, pretty much open air.
Yeah.
So everything goes up out the top. So,
yeah, even the sound stages can't run a real chainsaw. So
I don't know. I still think that they would be able to get like really, really loud sounds, because they've got awesome, sound setups in there. So
yeah.
I think that they can do. I think that would actually be better for jump scares, because they gotta fire the chainsaw up, and then you got that little bit of I think when you hitting a trigger, they can still get the decent sound, and it would be it'd be a little bit better, I think. Yeah,
no, that definitely makes sense. And less warning there. Just the one thing I always hate about, it's not hate. The one thing I don't like about Halloween Horror Nights that I like at Hollowscream is the scare actors don't have to press those sound cues. Yeah. And I feel like it makes a big difference on their side. Either they're pressing a sound cue to jump out, or in some cases it's timed during Halloween Horror Nights. So like they just have to keep jumping out right when their sound cue hits. Like they have to know when it's going to happen. That's the thing I don't like about it. But I mean, the more and more we do these things, I see it's like basically the only option. As big
That's
as
the amount of people coming through there.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess that one would really be good anywhere it's at. I could just see them using a lot of the materials from like the Insidious house, just to make the basic framework for that kind of thing, because we saw a lot of the Halloween house and the Insidious house. There were a lot of props that had been reused for that.
And those happen to be in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing. Go ahead, Nina.
No, I was just saying that they were both in the same location in that tent back there.
Yeah, I think that the big thing about it is, if you look and you even old iconic horror films, and even some of the newer ones now, it's always has some kind of, most of them take place in like a 2-story house, so you always have that staircase that they can use. I feel like that's something that probably stays in there, that they can reuse every single time they want to do a house like that, because it's got the tight corners like a house. You got the creepy staircase because you saw that with Insidious last year, and I'm sure they probably used it in Halloween too, the year prior. So I feel like that's a sticking point in those tight little sprung tents.
Definitely. And things I definitely want to see this year from it, just watching the movie, is they better have a Leatherface with his metal door sliding back and forth, like slamming that door and scaring the crap out of everybody.
Yeah, that sounds very Halloween Horror Nights-ish.
Yeah, and then also the freezer.
Yeah, those little coolers.
Yeah, he's got like a low freezer on the side that he pops open, and his first female victim, I don't remember any of their names, but she pops out, like, she's like half dead, but she pops out freaking out, and he kind of just pushes her back into it. I could see that being a great scare. You're just walking by those coolers, lady pops up, and then Leatherface comes, slams her back down in there. It's gonna be then turns on you again.
Exactly, and it's gonna be a smelly house.
I think so.
And it's gonna be a wet house.
Yeah.
That one of the last scenes, where they're trying to get the grandpa to hit her with the hammer.
With the hammer.
And then it kind of reminds me of last year in Walking Dead, where they had him and they slit his throat and it sprayed us. I think they're gonna put her like a doll or puppet over the bucket and have the grandpa there, hit her, and we're gonna get sprayed.
I think that's a good guess.
Yeah. They're definitely they'll probably definitely reuse a lot of the characters from last year, the Jason characters.
Yeah, because they're gonna need some big guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's about it with the information they released about Texas Chainsaw. Of course, we're very early in the event, so we haven't gotten a whole lot. But yeah, again, worth noting that it is the original. It is not based on any of the new movies or anything, which is cool, I think.
Yeah.
That they're going back to the roots there. And I know that's something Mike Aiello loves, so I'm just knowing that he's going to put his passion into that even more than he would normally.
Seems to be some of, it's going to be a classic. If they do IPs, I feel like it's going to be a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but maybe one or two more, maybe classic IPs. I don't really know.
Yeah, I hope so. Also announced officially was The Exorcist. That was the first official announcement. And again, this is another one based on an original film from 1973. So we got 73 and 74 covered. Now this one, he said, is for sure a soundstage house. So
that means it's going to be pretty damn big then.
Yeah. Which is interesting because it's such a small concept that he has to expand.
The whole movie takes place in a church, in a house.
In a church, in a house, in Egypt.
That's
what makes Mike and his team so great. They can take a big space like that doesn't have a lot of, and put their brain into it and really, their brains and their passion into it and come up with something that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like he said on Twitter, he said he wants to break down the elements from the film. He said, "What if we're surrounded by the materials of the wretch-covered bed, that green pea, slimy vomit? What if those layers of mattress padding literally enveloped us?" So there you go. There's your push-through scene for this year. You're gonna have to push through some vomit-covered, nasty, wet mattresses to get from one side to the other. I guarantee you, at least once.
See, we didn't really get a whole lot of that last year. I mean, other than the little Insidious area where it felt like stuff was touching you, we didn't really have a whole lot of stuff where you had to knock out of your way, and
right.
You felt kind of confined, and you really didn't get that many bad smells either.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did have, remember in Alice at the beginning of at the beginning of Horror Nights, we did push through something, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then they switched it out. For some reason, I don't remember exactly what it was, but
they changed it to the swinging
with all those spinning heads and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so originally that was a push through room.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
And then it switched to these heads that were swinging around. Like, okay.
Yeah.
See, I feel like that's one of the things that gets me with whether or not I want to do early or towards the end, because you always get. Not the end, but Rush of Fear versus Frequent Fear. Right. You're gonna get different stuff. If you come early on, you're gonna get. So I don't know. I might do both.
Yeah, an important thing. Well, I mean, if you do have a premiere pass for Universal, then you get that extra ticket, which you can use at the beginning, which might be something I do. I don't know.
You gonna maybe add a night of Express, or would you do it?
Well, yeah. Well, the hard part for us now is Nina doesn't live in Orlando anymore, so we don't have a place over there to stay all the time. So that rush of fear that we did last year, or even a frequent fear, is it's really iffy for us.
Yeah.
To spend that much money on it, because we also want to do Hollow Scream again this year and a couple of other things. So that's going to be kind of like up in the air as far as if we're able to swing a bunch of nights. I think we're going to probably get at least 2 in there, and if we do that, I would like to get 1 at the beginning and then 1 towards the end.
Exactly. And then you're looking at the prices, if you go twice, it already is the same price as the Rush of Fear of the Express. So
yeah. Or the Frequent Fear, really, because Frequent Fear is just a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Back to The Exorcist. So what he says is he wants to break down those elements into individual little things, and then you've also got that Egypt scene 1 where they're recovering the artifact. I know for sure he'll do that. You're gonna kick it.
It's been so long since I've seen the movie. I need to go back and watch it definitely before the event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. When we did that a couple of weeks ago, the movie starts off in Egypt. The priest gets an artifact that makes him extremely uneasy, and then somehow it comes back with him. That part I don't remember exactly, but
it's very confusing.
Yeah, he brings the artifact back with him, and I think that's kind of like the spirit goes from that into Reagan, and that's what that kicks it all off.
So, what are we thinking? I know you said something about the bed and everything, but what kind of elements you think are going to be in here? Do you think it's going to be kind of like every room you walk into is going to be a new scene in the same room? I don't know if that might be boring, but I think they're going to use the staircase in that one maybe to do the backwards crab walk, that freaky iconic scene from there. Exactly.
They have to find a way to do that.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not some kind of cheesy baby carriage thing like they did last year. Insidious.
Exactly. That's the 2 things I'm concerned with. One, that movie has, bad language, and it has, religious themes. So how are they going to tackle the religious themes like God and dog with Purge? And how are they going to handle her, what the devil says, your mother, How are they going to say that? Remember Lee said on I don't remember what episode it was, he's like, your mother
picks flowers in hell or something.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
In heck. Sorry, we can't say hell either, I'm sure.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll test it out early on. Like I said, they test the stuff out, and then if stuff doesn't work out or they get a backlash, it'll be gone. So that might be another reason to catch the event early,
Yep, definitely. I can tell you one scene they won't have, and that's the crucifix scene.
Yeah, I'm like, what if one of the elements is the crucifix? Oh God, what?
I think they're gonna steer clear of that, or
awkward.
You might not see any kind of crosses or anything in there, but who knows? It kind of goes hand in hand with the movie. So.
Exactly, the movie is.
You're gonna have to have priests in there. You're gonna need an old priest and a young priest. We're gonna need that kind of stuff for sure. It's just it'll be really interesting to see how Mike takes it. I'm personally hoping for those couple of key iconic scenes, and I want the rest to be so abstract that a lot of people walk out of there going, "What the heck was that?" Cool. I want to see just the Universal Creatives artistic vision just go nuts on this.
Not be so literal with the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know it's probably going to be a grandiose facade because you saw the construction picture that Mike put up, and then somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody compared it with the windows from the the movie cover.
Right.
And it looked pretty dang similar, so I'm thinking we're going to have a pretty good facade. They're always pretty good with doing cool facades. What
I wonder is if there might be 2 facades on that one. One like the main outer shell one being Egypt, and then breaking through to another facade that's that facade that we saw.
Kind of like Freddy vs. Jason was last year, where you were going through Camp Crystal Lake at first, and then you went into Freddy's house.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah, maybe not split so much like in the middle, but yeah. But because it's a pretty hard cut in the movie too. When that movie first starts off, you're in Egypt in the middle of the desert in the sands, and then all of a sudden cut to that scene.
Yeah.
So it's a hard cut there. So I could see Mike incorporating that hard cut element, which is really cool when they do that, because being in like a whole Egyptian set, the sands and everything, and then just cutting right through to like your standard,
It's kind of like a 2-for-1.
Yeah, cityscape kind of view is pretty cool. I like those jarring changes he can do. So that's it for the official announcements.
Do you think maybe cobwebs had something to do with maybe something with Egypt?
No, that's an original house.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Tent 1, a completely new original house.
Darren, you missed one.
No, I didn't.
You missed one.
No, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I think that's all the announcements.
No, oh, I can't do it. Don't.
That was enough.
It was an official announcement.
If I had my phone on, I would have done it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, The Walking Dead will return once again.
Are you even surprised?
For the 5th year.
We all know it's your favorite house, man.
Oh, yeah.
Be real with us. You can't put this.
I have to
can't
say,
put this fake facade up forever, man.
Yeah.
Or facade, as you
guys. What you don't know behind the doors, behind closed doors, it's his favorite. No,
Yep.
I think this house. You got to understand, we are a select few that are obsessed with Halloween Horror Nights. We really are. The average goer, to be honest, knows Horror Nights. Yeah, they know these other movies and the other, original houses to them are, oh, that was a cool house, whatever. They don't feel like we feel, Horror Nights, people are watching the show, they're going to come to the park and to the, Horror Nights, and they'll see Walking Dead house, they're going to get excited.
Yeah.
I think the average Horror Nights goer is crazy excited about
this. For the 5th time, they'll be excited.
For the 5th time. They are. They really are.
Well, see, the thing about The Walking Dead is, like, I watch The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it really kills it when, like, you can't use... Because Walking Dead is more than just about, zombies or walkers is what they call them. I feel like if they could get people somehow, like, Rick, or if they could use Daryl, or like a face character or somebody that looked like them, you would actually get more enveloped into the story, and it would feel like you were actually in there. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just have these guys, these walkers moaning at you and, popping out every so often. I feel like it would be better if they could actually use more of the timeline story with the characters instead of just being focused on the walkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and just like any kind of a human element, really, because the only human element we've ever had was when they got to. Of course, I don't watch the show, so I don't remember. Well, what's the name of that town they thought was nice? Terminus. Was it? Yeah, and then everybody turned out to eat people, too.
Yep,
like the zombies.
And now they're in a new town now, called Alexandria. So
well, yeah, but those people in Terminus, in the entire history of The Walking Dead being at Halloween Horror Nights, those are the only people that weren't walkers.
Right.
Everybody else that's been in that house has been a walker.
Oh, I can picture it. Remember the house? I don't know what year it was. The older lady, and she has like the trays, and it was of people, and she's like, "Ha!" trying to get you with a spoon.
Terminus? That was
that
last
was
year?
Terminus. No, 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, last year was zombie rave scene. That's right.
See, the weird thing about the one this year and last year, they kind of used like scenes from the same season. So you kind of, because The Walking Dead, the way it is, it's weird. It breaks up. Like, you've got where it comes on, you got your premiere in October, and then it runs for a couple of months, and then you've got a like 4 or 5 month hiatus. So then it plays that stuff. So it's like it's kind of weird how The Walking Dead plays out. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be all right. You know? I think it'll be better than last year, going through all the 6 seasons.
Yeah. This one is also in a soundstage, verified. And like Travis just said, it features scenes from all 6 seasons.
It's always been last year wasn't a soundstage.
No, it was in the parade building.
Yeah.
Ooh. I just saw building and I thought soundstage. Oh,
yeah, no, that is not a soundstage.
No, soundstage is the ones in the front.
That is the balloon storage place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and also Michael has said that there's going to be like an Uber house, like a mega huge giant house, and he said that this isn't it. So they're going to cut through this.
Bigger than Jack last
They already did that
house?
2 years ago, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, bigger than that.
Yeah. So let me just get my little Walking Dead rant on here real quick, and then I'll put it to rest.
Get your Walking Dead right on.
This is lazy. This is cheap and lazy as far as Halloween Horror Nights is concerned. This is them saying, all right, here's what we can do to save some money, cut some costs. We can have a Walking Dead house that features all 6 seasons. Well, guess what? We got props and we've got setups from the first 5 seasons. All we have to do is do 2 new scenes for 6.
Right.
Because your average house is 10 to 12 scenes. So each one gets 2 scenes, and then the new one gets 2 scenes, and that's the end.
I see what you're saying, but at the same time, it sells.
Yeah, it brings money.
It brings money.
The
money. Average goer. Like, I do agree, but at the same time...
Well, we're not the average goers.
I know, but
this podcast is not for people, the average goer. They're not going to listen to a podcast about Halloween Horror Nights.
But also, if it gives us 9 houses, again, and kind of see that as that extra house, we got an extra one.
No, take all those scare actors and put them in the other houses and make them even scarier. Like, put them out on the streets.
I can see it both ways. You know, it is a big money maker for it, so that maybe drives something that they could do bigger next year. But I don't know. Hopefully, it's the last year. Who knows? Maybe, you know, they've got contract negotiations that they can't, you know, divulge to, you know, us normal folks. So maybe 6 years was it. So or 5 or 6 years was it. So let's hope.
I hope so. I definitely hope so.
Because I don't see the story progressing, and I damn sure hope they don't go with Fear the Walking Dead, because that show sucks.
Yeah.
I hate it.
if it shows up again next year, I'm just going to go all in. I'm going to get my I Heart Daryl tattoo. Skip the shirt. I'm just going to get a tattoo. I'm going to get a full sleeve of Daryl.
No, you need to get a super crazy back tat, man.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Full sleeve or full back tat with the wings and everything.
Jeez.
With Daryl riding off backwards on his motorcycle. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Now we're officially done with the official.
Now we're officially done with our official announcements. So let's hop on over to rumors. And there have been a lot of rumors, a ton of them that are complete speculation. The ones that I got off of forums, but I got them from sources that have been very good in the past with leaking the entire set house list.
Seems legit.
Yeah, hasn't happened yet this year. Like by this time, at this point last year, we'd had all the houses leaked.
Really?
Yeah. The only one that was wrong was Scream, that ended up turning into Purge. But,
you think that's why they're doing all the announcements a lot earlier this year, so people don't really have the time to? I mean,
I think so.
you're never officially going to be ahead of the game, because they're always going to, you know, leak everything pretty quickly. But I think they got a little bit of a jump on majority of the stuff.
Yeah, I think as soon as they are starting construction on the houses, that they're just putting out the announcement right then and there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because I don't know if all these leaks come from the actual creative team, or if, I mean, they could come from a security guard that's doing rounds around there, you know, opens up the conference room and sees everything.
In late at night.
Exactly. Like, there's got to be a guy there who just does rounds and doesn't care, you know, about that kind of thing. So, no matter how much they try to play it close to the chest, there's always an opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah. So, one big one, which could potentially be an Uber house this year, a big house, was American Horror Story that we've heard. We've heard this for the last couple of years, though. A lot of people think that there's like some kind of a problem with The Walking Dead and American Horror Story being at the event at the same time. I don't really see the issue there. TV shows don't really compete like movie properties do.
Well, they're both AMC, aren't they?
No, isn't American Horror Story FX? Or
is it?
Yeah, I think it's FX.
Oh.
I just can't look it up right now.
I thought it was AMC, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
I'll
admit I've never seen that story.
Yeah, it's a different state. Yeah, it's not AMC. We watched. What season was just on TV with Lady Gaga? The 3rd season. Fourth. So we watched the previous one with the Carnival. See that?
Freak Show. Yeah,
Freak Show. Freak Show would make a fantastic house, but I feel like with Chance already, with her whole kind of carnival thing, kind of, you know, the clown thing, it might be overdoing it. But maybe they'll do kind of like a best of like Walking Dead. Like, well,
if it's the Uber house, then it's going to be everything.
Yeah.
It'll be all the scenes up to current, and that show really does lend itself to a perfect house. Like, that, I mean, the visuals that they've used in there, you've got a lot of different elements. You got like the standard haunted house the first season, then you had Coven, and you had Asylum. Or I think it went the other way. I think they had Asylum, and then Coven, the witch one, and then Freak Show, and then now the new one, Hotel, with Lady Gaga. Like that, those really abstract ones, which would be an excellent, I think, ending to a house too. Just having everything going chaos, like crazy surreal visuals.
I've literally never seen the show, so
yeah.
I've only seen one season.
The only thing I have to go off of is just some pictures I've seen of the kind of creepy old clown guy, whatever.
Oh yeah,
big face.
Twisty. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Twisty the clown, who actually turned out not to be such a bad guy.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to be familiar with the show to know the house, though. Those characters.
But at the same
have to
time,
know.
like that, you could have some freaky stuff in there.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a fan favorite house. Like
Yeah,
Walking Dead.
I'm just concerned about, because in the first season of American Horror Story, there was a lot of Dylan McDermott crying, a lot of Dylan McDermott standing, like looking out a window, not wearing any clothes. I'm hoping we don't see that at the event this year.
God.
Also crying then too, you know. So if they can keep that element of season 1 out, that would be great.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing that one.
Yeah. Another one that kind of falls into the classics that they announced was, another possibility, strong rumor I've heard actually, is Halloween 2.
Yay!
And I'm not talking about Halloween, a sequel. I mean, I'm not talking about like just another Halloween house. I'm talking about the actual Halloween 2 sequel, which took place in a hospital, which is always a great scene. Have you guys seen 2?
I haven't seen 2.
I don't know if I've seen 2.
Oh, okay.
I probably have, but probably been a long time ago.
Yeah, that one takes place all the way through a hospital, which would be another great setup, to have Michael Myers back again. And that's a good possible rumor if they're going the route of classic movies.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween 2 is before they went all crazy and went off on another tangent, right?
Yeah, Season of the Witch was part 3. Yeah, that's when it went really crazy. Michael Myers wasn't even featured in that, or the Shape, as we call him, was not featured in that one at all. So that's another good, strong possibility. If that happens, then I see that being in the tent, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre moving to a house. Well, actually, no. Never mind. Let me take that back, because the hospital would need a full sound stage, I think.
Yeah.
To run through. I don't think that they could put that in one of the tents. So maybe Texas Chainsaw in the tent, because it is, all in all, it could be a pretty small set, because really the only house they need to feature is the house that the Chainsaw family lives in.
Yeah.
So I could see that still staying in the tent and then moving Halloween over to a soundstage with that full hospital facade, which would be amazing.
Almost 100% sure that the Texas Chainsaw house is going to be in a sprung tent.
Yeah. So that would be tent 2. Tent 1 is an original. Like I said, they've announced he gave the code Cobweb. The codes are usually very far away from what the house actually is, though.
For example, it was last year.
I don't remember any of those.
Don't you know that was like a year ago, Nina?
Yeah, gosh, a lot of pressure on me.
I can barely remember yesterday.
No, I remember. It was something way off.
Another possible rumor, which came from a rumor of there being a requel house, an original house from the creative team that is based on another original house from the other creative team, basically, and that is Ghost Town.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, the original house was at Halloween 14. Nina, you want to read that?
Sure. Strangled by gold fever, the violent town of Lightning Gulch disappeared in a fierce thunderstorm that swallowed up the settlement and all its ill-fated souls. Excusez-moi. Today there is no trace of the Gulch, except when vicious storms rage. You mean rage?
Yeah, it was.
Once again, revealing all the buildings and the tortured ghosts that lurk in its streets, saloons, and alleyways. Still desperate to protect long-lost treasure, these wretched spirits remain blinded by their lust for gold and enraged by greed.
So that could very well be Cobwebs.
It could. Like I said, they're very weird and abstract with them, so... You got a ghost town, an empty town, a town that might collect a lot of cobwebs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This
Nobody's
reminds
been around for a long time.
Yeah, the only thing that could be more obvious, I guess, would be like tumbleweed.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
This reminds me of that house years ago with the it was like a Native American Roanoke.
Roanoke.
Roanoke. Yes.
Sweet.
Kind of reminds me of Roanoke. There was a town with people, and all of a sudden they were all gone. What did they do? Did they,
But they
cannibalism?
definitely weren't gone in that one. But what I could see this being is their stylistic house, their really cool makeup house. Because if they're gonna make a bunch of ghosts, then they're gonna have to look pale.
It's gonna be cool.
So everybody would have to be done up. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really interesting concept for a house again. And if they're gonna bring something back, I think that would be a really cool one to do. They haven't had like an Old West style house or anything for a long time, obviously since then. So
Yeah,
I think
that sounds very cool.
yeah, sounds like a good well to tap.
The next one I'm so excited for. Next rumored house is Purge.
Yeah. I don't want to get into this too much because it's obviously a sensitive subject and everything, but with everything that's happened in Orlando recently, I find it very difficult to have a Purge house.
You do.
Yep.
Now I see what you're saying. I was excited, but now I see what you're saying.
Guns and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we'll get our Scream house this year. Just reverse it.
Yeah.
Put back to Scream.
Yeah, they're going to have to get the rights holders interested, which I guess didn't happen last year, so...
Yeah, I don't see them doing a Purge house with the heavy involvement with, murder with guns and all that stuff.
Exactly.
In light of what happened, last weekend. And I don't really see how they could do it. I mean, I guess they could do it without guns, but I don't know if it would get the full effect of it.
Like those were that was the really cool stuff from last year. Was walking through the news station setup and having those air blasters go off and hit you in the chest at the same time that guy was.
Wow.
So
It's just the Scare Zone 2 years ago was done so well. The house last minute, even though it was last minute, I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen the new trailer for the new one. It's very intense, and now I see exactly
The
what you're
faces.
saying. Yeah, like
The light up.
Liberty. Yep. Oh, the X in the eyes and.
but
I think it would work better at the Scare Zone, to be honest.
Yeah, and there were
True.
rumors that those masks were being made by the production team because basically the guy that does make the masks for the Purge movies also makes them for Universal Orlando.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on Twitter or something.
Yeah, and
Really cool.
yeah, definitely. But he said he takes personal orders on these two and makes them to order. But he said he wasn't taking any orders because he was still working on the Purge. But he said that at a time that was after the movie's production had ended.
Yeah, you got to think that movie was probably recorded over a year ago.
Yeah.
So if he's still having problems, that means that he's,
Someone's
probably
asking
doing them
him.
for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I could see a scare zone happening. They can run.
True.
They can do a scare zone without guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have. The only time they had any guns in the last one was during the the little show they did where
Yeah.
they kidnapped the person.
What do you think about Shady Brook? The Shady Brook Scare Zone or Psycho Scarapy last year. They didn't really have any guns there. They were just running around with random things, and it was
Exactly.
still freaky. So
even
they
that
can-
cop, that poor cop that was lost that whole time.
yeah, with his lights just sitting there.
Yeah, they just kept getting murdered over and over again.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a gun on him.
Yep.
So yeah, it's possible to have it for a scare zone. I hope so. That's the one thing. Of course, I'm sounding like a hypocrite because I'm like, no Walking Dead again, please no, but please bring the Purge back.
Yeah, but this would be the third year for the Purge,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but I was
versus
already complaining about Walking
5.
Dead at this point. I'll admit it.
Yeah. By the second year.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like we were saying, it's all in what you like. You know what I mean? You're obviously more of a Purge fan, so you'd like to see it more. And there's a lot of Walking Dead fans.
And I think also The Walking Dead, remember we had that year, it was an all open scare zone of Walking Dead. That kind of turned us off to Walking Dead because it was the whole park of zombies. Ugh.
And it was
Yeah.
playing the freaking theme song really damn.
over and
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And they didn't really do up the streets very well at all. They just had a lot of light projections. If you remember on the side, clear. They had clear for the houses that were clear, supposed the facades that were clear, and the other ones that were in danger and whatnot. But not enough, definitely.
Any other rumors?
Yeah, actually, there's a pretty good one. This came like well before even most of the Horror Night speculation started, and that is Penn and Teller being in the Orlando area, and then Mike Aiello and some other members of the creative team staying in Las Vegas at the same hotel where Penn and Teller's show is.
Weird coincidence, huh?
Isn't it? Yeah.
You thinking show or house?
I am thinking show.
Fangirl mode now.
We're thinking that might be. It's obviously not going to be where Bill and Ted is, right? Because you're thinking that Bill and Ted's going to come back this year.
I think so. Which leaves that's
so. You
very
think it'll be?
interesting.
You think it will be where Jack's show was last year?
Oh, but let's see now. There's the thing.
That's where I'm hoping Chance's shows at.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a Chance show. Maybe Penn and Teller are writing the show for Chance, and Chance is doing like a magic show.
A magic murder show.
Right.
That'd be cool. But I don't know, man. Because unless they're planning on being there every night or at least peak nights, like
I don't think Penn and Teller are going to be in the event at all. I think if they're doing anything, they would write and create illusions for the event.
That makes sense.
Might get to see them at the media event and that kind of thing, but I think that would be about it. Maybe opening night, make an appearance in the show like they did at their house.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't they hop in and out of that house? Like, was it the last night or did they do it
the first night? It was just the first night. Yeah, because they were there for the media event to shake hands and do Q&A a little bit with media, and then they were in the last room of their house. And from what I heard, it was pretty funny. I had talked to Mike about it after the event, and he said people did not believe that they were Penn and Teller. So they were just walking by. I'm like, all right, okay, yeah,
Yeah, because you don't expect that, man.
Yeah.
But now, okay, so the next thing I wanted to bring up. So now that Disaster is down for the count as a queue in a house, what are we going to do? We're down a space.
Well, funny you say that. Because some pictures have been posted very recently of a strange new construction being built up there behind Men in Black.
Oh, I thought you were going to say behind Barney's Tunnel.
No. There will be one back there.
So, have you guys been in the extended queue? I don't even know if I've been in the extended queue before. Is it?
I probably was when I was
young,
like
really young.
16, 17, 18 even maybe. That would be the last time, because anytime my family came down, it would always be in the summer. So if we ever had to wait in that line, it was then. So, do
you know how big it is?
I'm imagining it's pretty big, because they were, I was thinking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when it was there at 17, it was not in the Disaster queue, it was in the Jaws extended queue. And the Jaws extended queue was really not that big at all, and they were able to put a pretty decent sized, at least 4.5-5 minute house in there. I'm guessing Men in Black, since it was built after, they kind of planned for bigger crowds on that one. It's probably bigger than that. So
how big is the Disaster extended queue? It wasn't like super big, was it?
Right. Oh yeah, no. And the space that they used, they didn't even use all the space that they could have. Yeah. If you remember, because they had all those stands, like the Robo Shark looking thing, and
yep.
Yeah, all those Disaster kind of displays that really hung out in the area. But it doesn't even seem like, because when you got out of that one, you still had quite a bit of empty space on the side.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember going in back in high school when they had one of those Disaster queue houses, and they used everything. There was no, where the Jaws was sitting after you exited, none of that was exposed. All of that was part of the house too. So.
Right. Yeah. Walking out of the exit was the actual exit to the whole thing,
which would be the entrance of where
Disaster.
Where you'd normally enter through Disaster.
Right.
So how do you think that they're gonna route through the line through there? You think they're gonna use the actual go through the building of Men in Black, or is there?
No, it would go around behind the building. I think either to the right of it, completely wrap around the building and the extended queue, and come back around from the side.
kind of like how the entrance to Insidious was.
Yeah,
last
but
year, and
Yeah.
exactly.
rerouted a different way.
Yeah, rerouted to go back behind the Men in Black building and around, which Men in Black building is not a small building, so that'll
No.
give them quite a lot of queue space there if they
True.
need
So
it.
yeah, if they do that, then never mind. It's
Well, you
still
have
gonna be a
nothing
dead
to look
zone.
at but a building.
Yeah, the other possibility is the other side of Men in Black, but that's going to be all backstage and everything for
The Bill and Ted show.
yeah, for Bill and
Yeah,
Ted. So
you're
I don't
right.
see them being
It's
able
gonna
to
be the same
utilize any
as
of
it
that
always
side.
is.
And they can't use any of like the queue or holding area for Bill and Ted either because they have to have that completely open and available.
You're right. It's
Yeah.
gonna be the same.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I think it's going to
Great.
look the same. They're going to it actually might. It's going to be really crammed up in that corner, to be honest. But with
Have
all
they-
the construction going on, they can't really do much else.
Have they used that extended queue before? Because I remember it was a strong rumor last year that they were going to use it too, right?
For Men in Black,
Yeah.
no, I don't believe they've actually ever used that for Halloween Horror Nights.
Wasn't it a pretty strong rumor that they might use it?
Well,
last
yeah,
year?
when people were just speculating where a ninth house would go before we found out Shrek
Right.
extra theater was being used there.
So they're probably using this because they don't have the disaster queue, right?
Correct. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they put up a covering back there because it was just open. It was completely open. Now they have a roof built up out there, so
Yeah, I
very
saw
much-
like one or two pictures, but it's so hard to get anything back there without,
yeah,
Hopefully, it's not
getting a
as.
trespassing warning or something like that.
Yep, and I
Yeah.
hope it's not as open to the elements as Run was. Remember last year?
yeah.
Well, it's got a roof on it, so it probably won't.
well. Run had a roof too. It's that
Oh, it was-
there's like a
it-
little gap of light up at the top. That
Wasn't it just wasn't the extended queue though? Didn't it kind of have a roof on it already though? It like wasn't built down onto the actual house though.
Yeah,
right?
you're right. That's
Right.
true. It's
Yeah.
very high
Yeah,
roof.
that's true.
Looked up, you had like a probably 6 to 8 foot gap between the actual scenes looking up in the run queue last year. So
Yeah, definitely.
who knows?
Well, yeah, we'll see what they do with it. They could build walls up a little bit higher on this one. It does look a little lower. But they also just might want to also use that as weather coverage for the extended queue as well. You also have to worry about heat and everything building up in those things because, like,
Yeah.
the first time they did a Jaws house, I remember reading in Chris Ripley's book, the first time they did a house in the extended Jaws queue, it stayed about 100 degrees in there at all times, and sometimes got a little bit warmer, depending on the lighting that they used, so,
It was pretty warm in the run house last year early on before it cooled down.
yeah.
Got pretty warm in there too, especially if you were going through there during the day. I think got
Mhm.
pretty hot.
Yeah, so the lower those walls are, the less air is going to get through,
Yep.
and the more that's going to be a problem. And we are running a little long. We're over an hour here, so let's move on real quick to permits and then close out the show. Permits that have already officially been dug up and unearthed. Yeah. We've got, for the sound stages, we've got soundstage 24A and B, which last year was Body Collectors and Freddy vs. Jason. Kind of strange to figure out that those were both in the same sound stage, but they do a really good job of splitting them off between
Well,
the
if you
two.
paid attention last year, when you were going through Body Collectors, when you were first coming through, when you were about to hit the Shady Brook facade, you could hear the, that quintessential knife sound that Jason does, or Jason.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could hear it, like if you were listening,
definitely.
or if the little big black shade blew.
Yeah, and you don't really realize how loud those houses are until you get out of there. Like those houses are insanely loud to cover up a lot of the actuators and effects and things that they use to make the house work. You have to have the volume kicked up pretty high. So yeah, 24A and B will be used again for sure. 22, which was American Werewolf last year. The Shrek extended queue will be used again, which I pretty much feel that that's going to be their 3D house location. If they're going to have one, that's where it's going to be.
Good use of space for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's surprising how long that house felt last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Feels a lot bigger,
Yeah.
Actually going in there, like, the one in every 10 years that I go and watch Shrek, see how small. I mean, it's not small, but when you think about they can fit a whole maze in there, it's pretty amazing.
It is. It's amazing. Definitely.
Amazing.
Where's Lee? I heard Lee.
Yep. Another official permit was Sprung Tent number 1, which was purged last year. So that house does have its official permit, and that is the one that, again, Mike Aiello codenamed Cobweb. And then we've got the new location, which is most likely the Men in Black queue, because it didn't have an actual location name on the permit. And usually they always do, but it just said like temporary for Halloween Horror Nights, and it didn't have the actual soundstage or building or anything
Or tent,
officially announced.
Has there been speculation on which one might be going in that MIB queue?
No
like
clue.
just size wise?
I think so far. I think it would have to be. I mean, it's it's possible the Chainsaw Massacre goes there.
That's the other thing that's weird.
Yeah.
There's no rumors of Conjuring being at any of these.
No, there was not one that I could find that anybody that was previously a verifiable source had said it's a possibility, which is really bizarre to me.
Because that movie
I think
is
that would
awesome.
have fit. Definitely would have fit. Would have been more kind of Insidious style house, which I really loved Insidious last year. I thought it was a top 5 house.
Yep.
So I think Conjuring would have worked really, really well, but who knows? Maybe it'll pop up.
Yeah, definitely possible. And it also lent itself to be a pretty good mega house too, with 3 films to work with.
Yep.
So that's another possibility. If that does come in, I actually don't want to see it take the same route as Insidious, because I think the one thing that hurt Insidious was it wasn't in a soundstage. I think they need full control over everything, and I think they need more space.
I don't know. I guess that the only reason I liked it in the soundstage because it felt more like you were actually in a house, more confined spaces. Like those sprung tents are really good for doing that.
Yeah,
that claustrophobic sense.
True, but when they, what I think though is when they got to the further, it actually just felt like they had put sheets up in a house. It still had that kind of house feeling along with it. It doesn't expand out into that big.
I think the further element was better in Hollywood last year. I don't know if you saw the house last year. I don't think the house overall was better, but I thought the further area was actually better than ours was in Hollywood. So.
Yeah, no, that definitely could see that. So in total, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 verifiable permits. We're thinking 9 houses. The other 3 locations being Sprung Tent number 2, a possible Sprung Tent number 3 being built. And
talking about a third one this year?
Yeah, and some of that extended construction at place, but I can't see them putting it there. If they were going to build another Sprung Tent, I think it's going to be on the other side of the park.
They do have a lot of wasted space back there, though. I feel like they can move some of that crap off site.
Yeah, I think there's just too many houses in one spot.
Yeah, the queue and line would be really, really weird. They kind of had a cluster last year with just the 2 houses being back there.
They really did. I think another soundstage being used makes a lot of sense, like the one that the 25 Years house was in last year. I can see that happening again for this one. So a lot's still up in the air. I'm sure we'll be finding out a lot more information pretty quick because they got to start selling major tickets.
3 months out.
Yep.
Thinking we're going to hear anything soon? Or you think they're going to chill out for a little while?
I think they're going to take a break now in light of news and everything. I don't think they want to come out with a big announcement currently.
Yeah.
I heard that there was a very good possibility that last Friday something else was supposed to be announced that was held back. I don't know what that was, but...
Late June, early July, maybe? Or are you thinking even farther than that?
No, I'm thinking they'll just give it a week or 2. Maybe end of June, like the last Friday in June.
Right.
And then start a little bit more regular, because I think also we're going to see a lot of IPs being announced as that goes through. Like the IPs are going to be announced first, and then we'll get the full reveal all at once. That will tell us the scare zones and the original houses. That's pretty much their pattern so far, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because other than Chance, that's really the only scare zone that's been announced, right?
Yeah. They typically don't announce any scare zones at all until the end. The only exception they had to that was when they did The Walking Dead, and they just let us know that the whole park's going to be Walking Dead. So
Here it is.
Yeah, and you know what? I still bought a ticket, so
I'm excited to hear some of the scare zones because I think the ones last year were pretty amazing. So I'm anxious to see what they can do this year.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that is going to do it for the first episode here. Of course, you can always follow me at UUOP Darren on Twitter. Travis, what's yours?
Travis Terrell 12.
And that's TERRELL 12.
Yep, correct.
So make sure you follow him. He puts up some pretty sweet pictures. I'm sure if you added either of us on Facebook, we'd probably add you, as long as you're not too creepy. Nina does not want to be contacted in any way, shape, or form. So
Leave her.
She just doesn't go on Twitter, so Twitter's not the best way to get at her. You should probably get on her Snapchat. She's on that all the time.
I just don't remember my name. Nah, contact Darren. I'll be there.
Yeah. Just get a hold of me. She'll be right. She'll be right next to me. Also, of course, you're already on the feed. Listen to the UUO podcast. If you want to send any email about this, send it to podcast@uuopodcast.com. If we get enough good emails, we might do a listener Q&A episode or something like that.
Yeah.
If you have any questions just about how the event works, ticket questions, things like that too, I think that would be good to add into a Q&A session. So definitely get those into us. Again, that's podcast@uuopodcast.com. I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, for Nina and Travis, I'm Darren, and this has been the first episode of the Dead Man's Digest.